Hello, I'm Natalie. Welcome or welcome back. This is my channel Niddly, where I talk about all of my creative endeavors, primarily knitting and pottery, but there's some other things mixed in there too. Today I thought it could be fun to do a little project vlog, baby's first project vlog, of something that I want to knit to wear to Flock Fiber Festival in August. Today I want to kind of start my making of it, and I thought it could be fun to film the whole process. I know people do these types of things. It's not like new or groundbreaking or anything, but this is my room. Here's my puppy Elmer. He's being really good right now. And yeah, so in my last video I did a little bit of an ideation exercise, coming up with some concepts, and I ultimately landed on a little bit of a baby tee with a graphic on it. And at the current moment, I'm leaning towards the graphic being a frog, just because I think the frogging concept in knitting is really silly and underrated, and I want to represent how cute it is to have frogging be a part of knitting, which is just cozy on cozy, you know. I'm gonna pop on my couch and grab my iPad, and hopefully Elmer will chill on the couch with me. Yeah, let's go. And yeah, so I want to sketch up some ideas for what the frog should look like. I want this to be completely self-drafted. I've my first self-drafted piece, and that includes the duplicate stitch motif on it. Yeah, I am not the best artist. In general, I feel like it's just practice and practice. So my thought process right now is that I've done this before for other things, but I'm going to look up a bunch of art of frogs and a bunch of drawings of frogs and copy them in Procreate on my iPad, and then hopefully those will just slowly transform into a version of a frog that feels more my own and mine. And mostly just using those references for anatomy and, different details of eye shape, or what the toes and fingers look like. Fingers? Do frogs have fingers? I guess it would be fingers. Yeah, so just kind of referencing those, coming up with my own. That's what we'll start with today, but I'm going to take you along the whole process of self-drafting my first piece, and yeah, wearing it to Flock. So we'll start there. Hello. We just got back from a walk and my yarn came, so I'm really excited. I already kind of opened it. I wanted to show you. I got the Malabrigo Verano yarn in the color Natural. I thought it was going to be lighter than this, honestly, but it's still I think it's really good. Let's try to show you. It's the same yarn that I used for my Olga sweater in the phthalo blue and rain colorway. Yeah, so this will be a little baby tee with a frog on it. So, anyway, we'll see what I get up to tonight. Yeah.
At least try and kiss it. For sure, pretty quickly. I think that was because I was already consumed with the fantasy that she was open. That was around with things we different. I don't know. What's with all the hairy women?
Family resemblance. So we need to put
Well, that's the obvious, yeah, so obviously the girl should be bearded.
green. Start hiding behind the green.
Whatever. Good job. Touch. Hey, what's up? How you doing? It is almost 1 o'clock on Saturday, and last night I did a gauge swatch, so I kind of want to update you on where I'm at and my thought process because I've made some progress that I'll talk through. First of all, I'm taking a bunch of notes so that, like, I don't know, maybe I can turn this into my own pattern and share it if people are interested in it. It's not like groundbreaking or anything, but yeah, this is my gauge swatch. Just make sure you can see. It's beautiful. It's like drapey and thick, but just really nice overall. Yeah, so I use US 5 needles, which are 3.75 millimeters. And then because I'm a loose purler, I use a US 4 for my purling needle. And yeah, and my gauge ended up being around 21 stitches for 33 rows for 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters, 4 inches by 4 inches. Yeah, so, and then from there, what I did was I measured my neck, like around where I would like the collar to sit. And that ended up being 45 centimeters. So I did some math, cross multiply situation, X stitches over 45 centimeters equals 21 stitches over 10 centimeters, and that resulted in 94.5 stitches for my cast on. I used that as just like a rough guide. It ended up being 96 stitches that I casted on so that I could figure out front and back, shoulders, and my raglan lines. I decided to do a raglan for construction. It just feels like the easiest for me to be able to figure out like depth and all of that rather than some other construction methods. And I wanted it to be like I'm coming up with stuff. I like vaguely referenced Google for like example, the ratio for front, back, and shoulders for raglan shoulders should be 1/6 each, and the front and back should be 1/3 each. So that ended up being like 32 in the front, 16 on the sleeves, and 32 in the back. And then to account for raglan, I decided to just do 2, so I could take 2 stitches away from the front and the back and the shoulders all themselves. So it ended up being 30 on the front, 2 on the raglan, 14 on the sleeve, 2 on the raglan, 30 in the back, etc., etc. Then I decided that I wanted to do some short rows because I have some raglans that don't have short rows, and I just don't like the way that it fits, and I don't like that you can't tell what is the front and the back. Eventually I want to get / make like little tags to put in my knits, but yeah, so once I cast it on, I decided that my like beginning of round will be the center back. So I cast it on, I knit half of my back stitches, which was 15, placed all my markers around the like numbers that I just gave you. And then when I made it back to the center back, that's when I decided to do my short rows. I just kind of picked an arbitrary number. I don't know if like how much it matters, but I looked it up, and I think it should be like 1.5 inches difference between the front and the back. So I like just played around with a little sketch of if I knit some, turn, purl to my marker, purl some, turn, knit to my center back marker, knit beyond the turn, and so forth until I've like roughly made the same amount of stitches as the full back piece. So I just was like 15 is divided by 3 and 5, but for some reason I chose 4. So I knit 4, did a turn, a short row turn, purled back to the center, purled 4, turned, knit to the center, knit 8 stitches, turned, did 12, and then did 15, just to like round out that back. So on the last one, I turned from to start knitting back to the center of round. And then I just started working the body, or the whole circumference. And I did increases on my first row around the raglands. So I did my short rows on the back, and then I did my increase on my raglands all the way around. And now I've just been doing an increase row, a normal row, an increase row, a normal row, until I kind of reach a spot that feels like the appropriate sizing. I also did some math to kind of determine that. So I measured around from like the back of my armpit to the front to see how many stitches I would like the result of my shoulder section to end in after increases. I did those same like little math ratio thing, and it ended up being about 70 stitches, which would be 35 centimeters is what I kind of wanted for my shoulder. Yeah, so I'm kind of working right now until I get that shoulder number, and then, or a little bit before that, and just like kind of try on as I go. And then after that, I'll figure out if the like front and back measurements feel appropriate, / if the length on the armpit feels appropriate, and then just kind of reevaluate from there. But so far so good. I haven't like had to undo anything. I've been pretty good so far, which I was kind of expecting to like frog something, since this is going to be a frog tee, but maybe it won't be. Maybe it's magic. I'll try it on for you guys. My cord isn't super long, so it might not look right, but maybe we could judge it around. How would you even spell that? Judge. Maybe we can judge it around to like make it look appropriate for the shoulder. Yeah, and I was planning on, when I get maybe to like 60 stitches on the shoulder section, to like then put it on a temporary cord to try it on like officially. Yeah, let me change, because I don't want to put it on over this, and I'll try it on. I'll be right back. Okay, we changed. Let's try this on. Life hack: if you don't have things to stop your needles, just use a little masking tape, or a bigger needle size, which I've done all the time. I'm just gonna add a little tape there so I can just make sure they don't fall off. Okay, now we can probably zhuzh it. We're in the business of zhuzhing. Okay, I'm just gonna push the stitches over. Oh yeah, this is gonna be like kind of hard to see, but we're making some progress. So this raglan, based on my calculations, will continue down to here, and continue increasing. And I think I haven't really fully fledged out what I want like the neckline to be when I pick up stitches, and how I want to do the arms. I kind of just wanted to see what the vibe was once I got to that point in the construction. But so far so good. This yarn is really beautiful. It almost feels silky, like the way that the Pima cotton is. So that's where I'm at for now.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda, let's talk about all the tools you're going to need to get into sewing. Don't worry, it's not that many. I'm going to assume that everyone watching has a really small budget, so this is how I would get into sewing if I had only a few $100s to invest into the hobby.
Okay. It is 6:30ish on Sunday. I don't know what day it is. Oh, whatever. And I've knit until the shoulder has 70 stitches. And I just added, or just put some yarn through it so I could try it on. So this is the front and the back. So I have the short rows in there so you can kind of see them. It's kind of looking pretty good, really. Yeah, let's try it on. I'm like really excited. I still think I have a ways to go before joining, but let's see. I do think that I need a little bit more. Oh, definitely the back too. Let's see if I can pull. Yeah, I don't think it's quite there yet to. Also just torn on the design of it. Like I feel like there's just so many different like necklines I could do. There's so many different like sleeves I can do. I'm kind of gonna treat it a little bit like how I treat my like pottery. Like when I just like put clay on the wheel, I just kind of like listen to how it wants to be. I want to get better at that and like having a vision and knowing how to execute it. But I think for this one, I'm just gonna kind of listen to what it wants to do and like go on the fly with it. I just filmed a whole spiel and realized that I was kind of out of frame, so I just wanted to like have another little clip of what it looks like right now. But this is where the raglans are. I'm at 70 stitches. And this is how the back's looking. Really happy so far, so we'll figure out what I do next, but just wanted another clear clip. And now I'm a little bit torn on if I want to only do increases on the body, only do increases on the body front, or continue doing those increases until it's a little bit deeper and closer to like, I would say my like armpit is actually like here really. Yeah, I think I might switch gears and try out some collar options. But like so far it feels so good and I'm actually really enjoying the color. This is a yarn that I've used before, but like it's has this like little bit of a sheen. Of course there's like a beautiful little light pocket right here too right now, but I'll check in with you a little bit later. Yeah. The thought I could give you a little bit of a what pottery is in the dishwasher while I empty it. I'll show you. This one is just like a speckledy glaze with a blue rim. This one, which is an old one of mine, that's like this brown clay with a beautiful blue glaze. It's a little bit rough though, but it's cute nonetheless. I put the years on mine, and this is from 2022, which is very exciting. It's an old one. This one I didn't make, but it's cute. I have my worm bowl. This was something that I showed in my last podcast. We have this one, which is kind of a lower, wider, small bowl. And it's green and it has these like blue little swoosh marks on it. I love this one, and this one is like a prime Elmer's food bowl. This one is another fun one that I made in 2022. It has some like hand speckled pieces that I did, and then there's a different glaze on the inside that left this like bluish sheen. Really pretty. Also a good Elmer food bowl. It's a little bit wonky, but I like that. I didn't make this, but I have a set of 4 of these small little cups, and I think they're so cute, and they all have different colors. And I want to try to make something like this because I use these all the time. They're perfect like orange juice kind of cup. Some fun glasses that I didn't make, but fun. All thrifted. This one's good too. I love the little foot on it. Little boot. And this one it's like a really fun little shape. And it has like blue stripes on the outside and some seashells and sand dollar that I painted inside from 2023. This one's like really solid. The last one is my favorite thing that I've made. Is this little fish bowl. I'm planning on showing this in my next podcast, so I'll talk about it more there. This I didn't make, but I want to make more of for like ketchup and dips and stuff like that, but cute. Okay, I just wanted to give a little update on my first collar attempt. Here's Elmer. We're watching Bethany Glover, which is perfect because she's doing like a self-drafting video. And that's what I'm doing. Yeah, so my first attempt, I kind of wanted to mimic the Olga sweaters folded over, but I wanted to do less height, so it kind of matches my raglan a little bit. So I knit 1x1 rib for 4 rounds, and then I did 2 rounds of the like knit 1, slip 1 with yarn in front, and then I knit 3 more rounds, and then I picked up the first stitch. I always forget to do this with it, but like usually you're supposed to cast off. But I think it's okay because I was just trying to see if I liked it or not. And in general, I feel like I like that it kind of mimics the raglan. Like that was the intent behind this one. Okay, so this is my second neckline attempt, and I started doing a double knitting, but my problem with double knitting, I think, is that it's too tight, and I don't think that I'll get it over my head. I tried to get it over my head already, and decided, obviously, that wasn't gonna work. Which is a bummer though, because I really like double knitting, like the look of it and the feel of it, because it's like more secure. So I don't know, maybe I could try to do it looser or pick up more stitches. I don't know. Okay, this is the third attempt. I did 3 rows of 1x1 ribbing, 3 rows of just stockinette, and then I just bound off like a normal cast off. And it's not as like rolling as I thought. Like I thought it would be more like that, but I kind of like it. I feel like it kind of mimics the raglan stitches in a way. Hi, hello. It is now like 7 p.m.-ish on a Monday, and I've been knitting a few hours since I got off work. We're now at a point where my shoulders have 80 stitches. I think last time we checked in, they had 70, so I've done like 10 rows since I'm increasing 2 every other row. And we're now at a point where I'm debating keep going with the increases or cast on some stitches for the underarms, and like start doing the body. I'm a little bit worried about it being a little bit too tight, if I just do that now, but I know cotton stretches out a little bit, so I don't really want it to be like saggy and too big. It's like a weird balance that I'm trying to figure out right now. And so I think where I've landed is kind of splitting the difference of I'm gonna do a few more rows of increases. So let's do to 84. So that would be 4 more rounds. Really isn't much different. And then from there, I'll cast on some stitches. I don't know if I want to try it on again. Putting all these stitches on this cord is a little bit annoying, but I probably should. So we'll see when I check in with you next. Okay, I have a messy desk right now, but I decided to pull out 2 of my other knits just to compare. Neither of them are raglans, but I think it would just be helpful to know like how deep the armpit kind of is roughly on those to just generally compare. So I'm gonna see what those are like. Okay, so this is on top of my sabai top, which I just kind of finished. And the sabai top fits me perfectly under the armpits. I don't know the best place to compare. I guess it would be those sitting on the shoulders. Maybe I'll just do it a little bit higher up just for the difference in construction. And it looks like my raglan is kind of following this line here. And yeah, we're maybe like an inch or so away from the depth of this armpit. And yeah, same on that side. So that's a really good reference. So I might keep going until there's like an inch or so more to match this. But let's see it with my Olga sweater. Okay, so the Olga sweater is obviously like a very different construction, and it's a wider fit than I want this to be, but still, just for a good reference of, I think the Sabai top is more helpful because it's a little bit more fitted anyway, but this is helpful to see just roughly. Also, I could imagine the collar with a double knit instead if I want to rip that out and go back to where I was in square one, because the more I look at this, the more I'm like, it's not quite right. So I'll probably redo that at some point, but it's giving very 4th of July. All right, back to it then.
I just got a flashback. This is like a little guy from Bug's Life.
Hold on, Mr. Ant.
I love that. You have to remember that animation was like not very good at the time. I think it holds up too. And just making a hinge that way, that's way easier than making the hinge out of clay. And I think it looks a lot nicer because it's just like a sleeker look. It's not so bold. Good morning.
And then I had a stroke of genius when I decided to make a pair of sweatpants out of the bob pants pattern, which is a pattern from Style.
Hello, it is 4:30ish on Tuesday, and I've just been knitting for a little bit. Last night I had a little bit of a mishap, and I forgot that for natural fiber yarn you should be pulling a cake from the outside, not the inside. And so I was pulling from the inside, and it all culminated into a big knotty mess that I had to deal with last night. So I didn't really get much knitting done yesterday, but I have now made it to a point and where I put the sleeve stitches on scrap yarn and casted on 12 stitches for under the arms. I think last time we checked in, I had like 80 stitches on the shoulders, and I made it to 84. So I did a few more rounds, and I think the depth of it is perfect right now. So I'm really happy with how it's turning out, and now we just have to crank out some body. Hey, it's like 9:30 on Tuesday night. Elmer's having a really chaotic evening. Buddy, love the guy, but he needs us to chill. It's past his bedtime. Elmer, go to your bed. Thank you. Good job. You did. Okay. Anyway, I knit about an inch or so. Oops, lost a stitch. Gotcha, sucker. Okay. I knit about an inch and a half or two in the round of the body, and I decided to try to do some kind of like thing to maybe mimic the raglan going down the sides. So I did one round of knit two together, yarn over, knit two, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, and then 2 rounds of just normal knit. But I feel like how it ends up looking is more like spider webby. I don't know if I should just frog the body and do something else, or if I should just like say this is for ventilation in the armpit and then just go normal for the rest down, or try to ladder down. Maybe I'll try to ladder down on one side, and if that doesn't work, I'll just frog back the rest. It's really not too big of a deal, so yeah, I don't know. Hey guys, it is Thursday at like 11 a.m. right now. I'm just taking a little break from work, but I wanted to pop in here. I think that this vlog is going to be really long. I want it to be really detailed on my process of self-drafting, and I didn't really want to cut anything out, so I decided this will be a multi-part video. I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish my frog tea in the next week, so it might end up being 3 weeks. We'll see, but either way, I think it was really fun to like do a little project vlog, and I'm excited to keep working on it. I'm making some progress and coming up with a few like new details that I haven't seen before. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you liked watching a little week in my life of self-drafting. If you want to stay more up to date on stuff that I'm doing, feel free to follow me on Instagram. It's knit.ali. Yeah, see you again soon. Hey guys, just wanted to pop in here and tell you that this is the outro. Stay tuned for next week.